Imagine standing at the edge of your own potential. The only thing standing between you and your greatest achievements is not the world around you, but the person you see when you look in the mirror. The truth is, the only competition that matters is the one between who you are today and who you could be tomorrow. This is not about comparing yourself to others, chasing fleeting accolades, or measuring your worth by external standards. No, this is about a fierce, relentless battle you vs you. In a world where comparison is constant, where success is often defined by external validation, we've lost sight of the one true measure of progress, our own personal evolution. Too often, we look to others to gauge where we stand in life, believing that someone else's success somehow diminishes our own. But what if I told you that the only real competition you should be focused on is the one between your past self and your future potential? What if the key to living a fulfilled life was not about outdoing others, but about outdoing the person you were yesterday? You vs you is a mindset, a transformative shift that pulls us out of the rat race of comparison and places us on the path to self-mastery. It's about embracing the power of personal growth, confronting your weaknesses and challenging your limits. It's about acknowledging that true success isn't measured by who beats you in a race, but by how far you've come since the starting line. Today, we'll explore the power of competing with your past self, the strength found in breaking free from your comfort zone, and the profound impact that trusting the process can have on your life. These are the foundations of a life lived with purpose, where every decision is driven by the desire to be better, not just for today, but for the rest of your journey. This is the battle that matters, you vs you. The question is, are you ready to rise and meet the challenge? The only real competition is your past self in today's world. We're constantly bombarded with comparison. Social media, advertisements, and even conversations with friends and family often lead us to evaluate our lives in relation to the people around us. We see others achieving success, gaining recognition, or making advancements, and it's easy to feel as though we're falling short. However, the only competition that truly matters is the one you have with your past self. Competing with others can often lead to a cycle of frustration, self-doubt, and a never-ending pursuit of validation. But when you make your past self your only competition, you unlock a new, healthier way of living. The truth is, everyone's journey is different. The person you see thriving today may have faced struggles you know nothing about. Their wins might look impressive from the outside, but they too have their own challenges, setbacks, and imperfections. The truth is, you never know the full story of someone else's life. By comparing yourself to others, you risk undermining your own growth because you're measuring yourself against standards that may not align with your own values or goals. The beauty of you vs you is that it places the focus squarely on your own growth and evolution. Competing against your past self means you measure success by how far you've come, not by how far others have advanced. It's not about outpacing someone else. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, one step at a time. When you embrace this mindset, life becomes a journey of self-improvement, not a race for external validation. Let's imagine the journey of an athlete. Take a marathon runner, for example. A runner doesn't focus on beating the time of another runner. They focus on improving their own time, on running the race better than they did the last time. The measure of success is their own improvement. This same principle applies to every area of life, whether in your career, your relationships, or your health. The key to sustainable progress lies in competing with your past self. It's not about keeping up with the ever-changing landscape of other people's lives. It's about becoming better than you were yesterday. The beauty of competing with your past self is that you are the best judge of your progress. No one knows your weaknesses, your strengths, and your potential better than you do. You can track your progress through reflection and introspection. You can ask yourself questions like, what did I learn today? Or how did I handle that situation differently than I would have in the past? These questions will give you the clarity needed to assess your personal growth. Rather than looking at someone else's story, you can begin focusing on your own story, appreciating how far you've come, and setting goals for how much further you want to go. One of the most powerful ways to stay focused on this journey is through journaling. Writing down your thoughts, reflections, and emotions can act as a powerful reminder of how far you've come. It allows you to look back at previous entries and see how much you've learned, how much you've grown, and where you've made progress. The more you write, the more you realize that your true competition isn't someone else, it's the person you used to be. This journey of competing with your past self doesn't mean you won't experience setbacks or periods of frustration. Growth isn't linear, and it's easy to feel like you're not making progress during difficult times. But when you focus on your own progress rather than comparing it to someone else's, you gain perspective. Even on days when you feel stuck, you can look at how far you've come and realize that you are still moving forward, just at a pace that's right for you. When you stop comparing yourself to others, you release the weight of external validation. You stop chasing someone else's dream or success story. Instead, you start setting your own goals that align with your values and your own definition of success. This is incredibly liberating because it removes the pressure to keep up with everyone around you. It allows you to pursue your own dreams without fear of failure or judgment. Additionally, competing with your past self helps you develop a mindset of self-compassion. We're all prone to mistakes, setbacks, and times when we fall short of our own expectations. But rather than beating yourself up, you learn to treat yourself with kindness and patience. You understand that mistakes are part of the process and they don't define you. They are simply opportunities for growth. In the end, This mindset shift of you allows you to focus on what truly matters, your own evolution. You stop living in the shadows of others' successes and start forging your own path. You create your own standards for what success means, and you work tirelessly to meet those standards. And in doing so, you create a life that is uniquely yours, one that no one else can replicate. Break free from your comfort zone. The comfort zone is a place we all know too well. It's familiar, safe, and predictable. There's no risk, no uncertainty, and no fear of failure. It feels good to stay there because everything is manageable and we can avoid feeling uncomfortable. However, if you want to grow, evolve, and achieve anything extraordinary in life, you need to step outside that comfort zone. It's only when you push past the boundaries of your comfort that true growth and transformation can take place. Imagine a small fish swimming in a tank. It's safe, it's comfortable, and there are no threats to its existence. But as long as that fish stays within the confines of that tank, it will never grow beyond its current limitations. The fish might be safe, but it will never reach its full potential. Now, imagine if that fish were to break free from the tank and enter the vast, open ocean. The ocean is unfamiliar, filled with risk and challenges, but in that vastness, there's the potential for the fish to grow, to explore, and to thrive in ways it could never have imagined in the confines of the tank. The comfort zone works the same way. As long as you stay in your comfort zone, you remain limited. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that avoiding discomfort will lead to happiness, but in reality, it's the discomfort that leads to growth. When you challenge yourself, when you take risks, and when you face new challenges head on, you expand your horizons. This is where real personal growth happens. This is where you unlock your true potential. It's natural to feel afraid or anxious when faced with the unknown. We're hardwired to seek safety and avoid risks, but growth never happens in a place of safety. It happens when you step into the unknown and face your fears head on. When you take that leap of faith, you learn new things about yourself, your abilities, and your resilience. The first time you do something outside your comfort zone might be terrifying, but over time it becomes easier. And as you stretch your limits, you grow stronger, more confident, and more capable. The comfort zone is a trap that keeps you stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. It keeps you from taking risks, from pursuing your dreams, and from becoming the person you're truly meant to be. But when you break free from it, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities. You allow yourself to explore new opportunities, try new things, and meet new people. You start to embrace challenges as opportunities rather than threats, and you begin to thrive. In the You journey, breaking free from your comfort zone is a vital step toward achieving your goals. It's about pushing past the fears and self-doubt that keep you stuck. It's about taking bold actions even when the outcome is uncertain. And most importantly, it's about understanding that the only way to achieve something greater than what you currently have is to push beyond the boundaries of what you've always known. The comfort zone may feel safe, but true fulfillment lies outside of it. It's only when you step into the unknown that you begin to unlock the person you're meant to become. So take the leap, face the fear, break free from your comfort zone, and watch as you transform into the best version of yourself. Your mind is the battlefield. Your mind is where every battle begins. It's the unseen arena where your doubts, fears, and distractions clash with your hopes, dreams, and desires. Whether you win or lose in the game of life often comes down to what's happening in your head. The way you think shapes everything, your actions, your outcomes, your relationships, and even your self-worth in the you battle. Your mind is the ultimate opponent. It is your inner dialogue that either builds you up or tears you down. It is the voice that says, you can't do it, or the one that cheers. It's the place where excuses are born. And it's the place where your greatest victories can also be won. We often overlook the power of our thoughts. But think about this, the way you talk to yourself is often harsher than any criticism you'd ever give to another person. The voices in your head, your self-doubt, your insecurities, your limiting beliefs have the potential to cripple your progress if you let them. But they also have the potential to elevate you if you learn to control them. When your mind is filled with negative thoughts, it's easy to feel defeated. But when you take control of those thoughts and challenge them, you can turn the tide in your favor. Positive self-talk, reframing challenges as opportunities, and replacing I can't with how can I are tools that give you power in this internal battle. Remember, what you feed your mind matters. Just as a plant needs sunlight and nutrients to grow, your mind needs positive input to thrive. Books, affirmations, meditation, and positive conversations help nourish your mental health. You wouldn't expect to perform at your best if you were feeding your body junk food every day. So why expect your mind to thrive when you constantly expose it to negativity, fear, or doubt? You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are just passing clouds, but you are the sky, the observer. You have the power to choose which thoughts to focus on and which to let go. By mastering your mind, you gain control over your actions and ultimately your life. To win in the You battle, start with your mind. Cultivate a mindset of growth, resilience, confidence. Reframe challenges as opportunities to grow. And remember that every victory starts with your belief that you can win. Consistency is more powerful than motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It's the spark that ignites action but often burns out too quickly. One day you're full of fire and ambition, determined to change the world, and the next you're struggling to find the energy to get out of bed. It's a cycle that many fall into. You feel motivated, you do the work, but then the motivation fades and the work stops. In contrast, consistency doesn't rely on mood or inspiration. It's the quiet, steady force that moves you forward even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Consistency is the difference between fleeting success and lasting achievement. It's the practice of showing up every day doing the work. Regardless of how you feel or how much energy you have, if you want to win the you vase you battle, consistency is your greatest weapon. Motivation is a powerful force, but it's unreliable. Motivation can get you started, but only consistency will keep you going when things get tough. It's easy to start a project when you're inspired. It's much harder to continue when obstacles arise or when the initial excitement wears off. But consistency is what pushes you through those moments. Consider the story of an athlete in training. Motivation might get them to the gym on day one, but it's the habit of showing up every day, even on the days they don't feel like it, that leads to true progress. It's the small, consistent efforts that accumulate over time and lead to significant transformation. It's about making progress, no matter how small, every single day. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't do it because you're motivated to do so every day, but because it's a habit. You've built that consistency into your routine, and it's a non-negotiable part of your day. The same approach can be applied to your goals. When you build consistency, it becomes ingrained in your daily life, something you do without thinking. The effort doesn't feel as overwhelming because you've made it part of your rhythm. The beauty of consistency is that it compounds. The work you put in today will pay off in the future. Each small step builds on the one before, creating a snowball effect of progress. You may not see huge results immediately, but over time, those consistent actions will lead to breakthroughs. This is how long-term success is achieved, not by bursts of energy or motivation, but by the steady, consistent pursuit of your goals. The trick is to keep moving forward even when the results don't seem to show up as quickly as you'd like. Many people give up too soon because they're expecting rapid progress. They want instant gratification. But the truth is, success takes time, and time is on your side if you stay consistent. So the next time you feel your motivation waning, don't panic. Don't wait for inspiration to strike. Just show up, do the work. Trust that consistency will take care of the rest. And over time, you look back and be amazed at how far you've come. Embrace your failure as failure is inevitable. No one who has ever achieved anything significant has done so without experiencing setbacks, mistakes, and outright failures along the way. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't that one group avoids failure while the other doesn't. It's that those who succeed embrace failure, learn from it, and use it as a stepping stone for future success. When you're engaged in the battle of you vs you, failure is one of your most important allies. It's not something to fear or avoid. It's something to understand and learn from. Failure is not a reflection of your abilities or your worth. It's simply feedback. It's the universe telling you that you're on the right track, that you're stretching yourself, and that you're pushing the boundaries of what you thought was possible. Failure is also the greatest teacher you'll ever have. Think about it. When you succeed, it's easy to get comfortable. You don't learn as much from winning. You might feel good, but you don't necessarily grow. However, when you fail, you're forced to analyze what went wrong, to assess what could have been done better, and to recalibrate your approach. Failure forces you to evolve. It forces you to confront your weaknesses and turn them into strengths. If you choose to learn from it, failure is the greatest tool for self-improvement. Consider the example of Thomas Edison, one of the greatest inventors in history. He famously failed thousands of times before he successfully invented the light bulb. But instead of seeing these failures as defeats, he saw them as lessons. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That mindset, the ability to view failure as a necessary part of success, is what separated him from those who gave up after a few setbacks. But how do you embrace failure when it feels painful? When it feels like you've poured all your energy into something only to see it fall apart? The answer is perspective. It's about recognizing that every failure is an opportunity in disguise. When you fail, you learn something. You discover a new strategy. You uncover a hidden strength, or you gain clarity on what to avoid next time. Failure is your teacher, not your enemy. One of the reasons people fear failure so much is that they tie it directly to their identity. They think, "I failed, so I am a failure." But failure is a temporary state, not a permanent label. Failing doesn't make you a failure, it makes you human. It's a part of the process. And when you choose to see failure in this light, it loses its power to demoralize you. In fact, the more you fail and the more you embrace it, the stronger you become. Every time you fail and get back up, you build resilience, you develop a deeper understanding of yourself and your limits. And when you finally succeed, it will feel even sweeter because you'll know you earned it, you've endured, you've grown, and you've evolved. Another important thing to remember is that you are not alone in your failures. Everyone has failed. Every successful person has experienced setbacks. Failure doesn't discriminate based on talent, intelligence, or ambition. It's something we all face. What separates those who ultimately succeed is their ability to keep moving forward despite failure. They don't let it stop them. They don't let it define them. They keep pushing, learning, and growing. There's also a certain freedom that comes with embracing failure. When you stop fearing failure, you stop holding yourself back. You stop worrying about what could go wrong, and you start focusing on what could go right. You take risks. You experiment. You try things that push you out of your comfort zone. You stop playing small because you're no longer paralyzed by the fear of failure. Instead, you see it as a necessary part of your journey. Failure also teaches humility. It reminds us that we are not perfect, that we are always learning, always evolving. And in that humility lies a powerful strength. It opens us up to growth, to improvement, and to new opportunities. When you're not afraid to fail, you give yourself the permission to be imperfect, to be vulnerable, and to make mistakes without letting them define who you are. The key to embracing failure is to reframe how you view it. Instead of seeing it as something to be avoided, see it as something to be embraced. Failure is not an end, it's a beginning. It's the start of a new chapter in your journey. It's the moment where you get to choose whether you stay down or get up. And the more you get up, the stronger you become. So when you encounter failure in your own life, don't shy away from it. Don't see it as a reflection of your worth or your ability. Embrace it, learn from it, let it propel you forward. Because in the battle of you as you, failure is not your enemy, it's your ally. It's a necessary step on the road to success. Self-love isn't selfish. Self-love often gets a bad reputation. In a world that constantly pushes the idea of putting others first, the concept of loving yourself can sometimes feel like an act of selfishness. But in reality, self-love is one of the most important things you can give yourself, not because it's indulgent, but because it is essential for your well-being and growth. When you truly love yourself, you create a foundation of strength, resilience, and positivity. You begin to understand your worth, set healthy boundaries, and prioritize your needs. Self-love allows you to show up as the best version of yourself, not only for you, but for those around you. It's not about being narcissistic or self-centered. It's about nurturing yourself in a way that fuels your growth, peace, and happiness. Think about it. How can you truly love and support others if you don't first love and support yourself? You can't pour from an empty cup. When you take care of your own needs mentally, emotionally, and physically, you are in a better position to give to others without feeling drained or resentful. Self-love is the practice of making sure you are whole so that you can share your wholeness with the world, and that you battle. Self-love is the foundation that keeps you grounded and focused. It empowers you to rise above negativity, self-doubt, and external pressures. When you love yourself, you become less concerned with external validation and more focused on the internal truth of your value. Self-love doesn't mean ignoring the needs of others or being selfish in a harmful way. It simply means recognizing that your own health and happiness matter. It means taking the time to nurture your body, mind, and soul so you can show up as your best self in every aspect of life. The better you take care of yourself, the better you'll be able to serve others and achieve your goals. The power of habits shape your life more than you realize. Whether you're aware of it or not, your daily routines dictate the trajectory of your success. Success doesn't come from sudden bursts of effort. It comes from the small, consistent actions you take every day. The power of habit lies in its ability to create automatic, positive routines that compound over time. Think about the habits you already have, whether good or bad. Brushing your teeth, drinking water, or checking your phone are all habits. Some serve you well, others may hold you back. The key is identifying the habits that align with your goals and cultivating them. Just as negative habits can limit you, positive habits can propel you towards success. In the you battle, your habits are your secret weapon. They are the actions you don't have to think about. They're the foundation for achieving your goals. By focusing on building habits that move you closer to your aspirations, whether it's working out, reading, or practicing mindfulness, you build a life of progress. And over time, these small actions will lead to big results. The beauty of habit is that it doesn't require motivation. It requires consistency. Once a habit is formed, it becomes second nature. And that's when real transformation begins. Master your emotions. Emotions are powerful forces. They can either propel you forward or hold you back, depending on how you manage them. In the you battle, your ability to control your emotions is one of your greatest advantages. When you master your emotions, you take control of your responses, your decisions, and ultimately your future. We all face difficult emotions: fear, frustration, anger, sadness, and even joy. These emotions are natural, but they don't have to dictate your actions. It's not about suppressing or ignoring your feelings. It's about understanding them, processing them, and choosing how you respond. Emotional mastery isn't about never feeling negative emotions. It's about not letting those emotions control you or sabotage your progress. When you're angry, it's easy to act impulsively. When you're sad, it's easy to lose motivation. But when you learn to manage your emotions, you can pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully rather than react out of impulse. This emotional intelligence helps you make better decisions, maintain your composure in tough situations, and stay focused on your long-term goals. Emotional mastery also means not letting the highs or lows of life determine your self-worth. Success and failure are part of the journey, but neither should define your emotional state permanently. By practicing emotional regulation, you develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks without losing your sense of purpose or direction. In the end, mastering your emotions allows you to be more present, more intentional, and more aligned with your true self. When you manage your emotions, you take control of your narrative and create a life that is driven by purpose, not reaction. Trust the process. In the you journey, one of the hardest yet most essential elements to understand is the importance of trusting the process. Success rarely happens overnight. It's a gradual evolution that demands patience, persistence, and faith in the journey. There will be times when it feels like you're not making any progress or when the results aren't coming fast enough. But trust that every step, no matter how small, is leading you in the right direction. The process is the collection of daily actions decisions and habits that push you forward. It's easy to want instant results, especially when you live in a world where instant gratification is readily available. But real growth takes time. Whether you're building a career, developing a skill, or transforming your health, the process is key. It requires consistency, discipline, and most importantly, trust. When you trust the process, you stop focusing on the immediate outcome. You stop measuring your progress by how fast things are happening and start focusing on how far you've come. You begin to see setbacks as part of the learning curve, not as obstacles that are keeping you from success. You learn to appreciate the small wins along the way and understand that each day you're moving closer to your goal. The key to trusting the process is surrendering control over what you can't change. You cannot control the timing of your success, but you can control your efforts. Every day you can show up, put in the work, and believe that the results will come when the time is right. In the meantime, focus on the progress you're making, no matter how incremental it seems. By trusting the process, you allow space for growth, learning, and transformation. You stop being frustrated by the pace of your journey and instead embrace each moment as part of your evolution. Trust the process, and in time, you'll look back and see just how much you've accomplished. Legacy over temporary wins. In the UV's journey, it's important to recognize that the pursuit of temporary wins, those fleeting moments of success that offer immediate satisfaction, is not where true fulfillment lies. Instead, focus on building a legacy. A legacy is what you leave behind, the impact you have on the world, and the person you become over time. It's far more enduring and meaningful than any short-term achievement. Temporary wins can feel gratifying in the moment. Getting a promotion, buying a new car, or reaching a milestone feels good, but these are often fleeting. Once the excitement fades, you're left chasing the next win only to find that the satisfaction is short-lived. This cycle can lead to burnout, dissatisfaction, and an endless pursuit of things that don't truly matter in the long run. A legacy, on the other hand, is something that stands the test of time. It's the lasting mark you make through your actions, your character, and the values you uphold. A legacy is about who you are, not just what you accomplish. It's about how you make others feel, the way you inspire those around you, and the positive change you bring to the world. When you focus on building a legacy, you are driven by purpose, not external validation. Think about the people whose lives you admire, their influence, their impact, their ability to leave a lasting impression. It's not their temporary wins that make them memorable, but the way they live their lives with intention, integrity, and vision. Their legacy isn't measured by a series of accomplishments, but by the consistent, purposeful way they showed up in the world. In the You as You battle, building a legacy is about creating something that is meaningful, lasting, and aligned with your values. It's about focusing on the long-term picture, even when the immediate wins may seem more tempting. Legacy doesn't happen overnight. It's built by every decision, every action. Every day you show up as the person you strive to be. So when faced with the temptation to pursue a quick win, ask yourself, will this help build the legacy I want to leave behind? Will this action contribute to the person I want to become or the impact I want to have on others? When you start thinking in terms of legacy, your goals shift. You start making decisions that are aligned with your true purpose, and the journey becomes far more fulfilling. The beautiful thing about legacy is that it outlives you. It's the gift you give to future generations, whether through your family, your work, or your contributions to society. It's the way you inspire others to rise and live with the same intention, purpose, and dedication. And when you focus on legacy, you realize that the temporary wins along the way are simply part of the process. They are stepping stones that support the long-lasting impact you want to create. As we come to the end of this journey, remember that the most profound battle you will ever fight is not with the world, nor with anyone else, but with yourself. The most important person you will ever face in life is the version of yourself you were yesterday. The stakes are higher than any external race you could ever run, and the rewards are more meaningful than any temporary win could offer. It's not about winning against someone else. It's about the relentless pursuit of becoming better, stronger, wiser, and more resilient than you were before. When you choose to embrace the mindset of you as you, you take control of your own story. You stop being a passive observer of your life and start being the active architect of your future. You stop measuring yourself by the fleeting moments of success you see in others, and instead you measure your life by the progress you've made in the face of your own challenges. It's the consistency of small victories, the courage to step outside of your comfort zone, and the discipline to rise again after each failure that truly defines who you are and what you're capable of achieving. The path to personal mastery is not easy. There will be days of doubt, days when you feel like you're not moving forward at all. But trust this, every step you take toward improving yourself is a step toward greatness. Every decision, every action, no matter how small, builds a legacy that will outlast any temporary win. Your legacy isn't written by others, it's written by you with each choice you make in the direction of becoming the best version of yourself. So I challenge you today, stop looking around at others to measure your worth. Stop allowing external validation to dictate your journey. Look within, because the greatest victories are the ones you achieve over your own limitations. The only person standing in the way of your success is the person you were yesterday, and you have the power to rise above them. The battle isn't over, but with every decision, you are moving closer to the person you're meant to be. The real question isn't whether you will win, it's how badly you want it. You are your only competition. And today, the only fight that matters is the one you're having with yourself. Step into that fight with courage, strength, and a commitment to win. Because when you beat your past self, you not only change your life, you change the world around you. The true victory is in becoming the best version of you. Let's get to work.